Next, I'll be introducing Dr. K.L. Vasundhara ma'am. It's my privilege to introduce Dr. K.L. Vasundhara ma'am, Associate Professor and Head Department of Mathematics, and also the Head at the Department of Computer Science and Engineering for first year students at Stanley College of Engineering and Technology for Women. Ma'am has completed her PG from Acharya Nagarjuna University, and ma'am has awarded a PhD degree from JNTU Hyderabad in the year 2014. With over 20 years of teaching experience, ma'am has authored 3 textbooks, published 12 research papers, and holds 12 patents, including 1 granted in the United Kingdom. Ma'am received prestigious awards like Uttama Adhyapika and Jyeshta Acharya. Ma'am also served as BOS Chairman for the Department of Mathematics at Stanley College for Women. Ma'am is also holding the position at Stanley College as convener and coordinator of AICTE Training and Learning Program. We are truly honored to have you here, ma'am. Over to you for the insightful session.
PPT is visible.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Okay. Just a minute. Okay. None. Okay, thank you, Navya. Thank you, Navya. Shall I start, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Our main topic name is sustainable energy and climate change. So in that first, I want to discuss about energy. Energy is the ability to do work. For example, food gives energy to our body, and electricity makes the fan rotate. How we will get this energy? Means the sources of energy I want to tell. There we have 2 different types of energy sources. One is conventional source and another one is non-conventional sources. In that conventional sources, we have commercial and non-commercial. Whereas coming into commercial sources, there we have coal, petroleum, electricity. Coming into non-commercial sources, there we have firewood and dried dung, like that. Coming into non-conventional sources, we have biomass, solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, energy form of urban waste. I think all this part are explained. Now coming into sustainable energy. Our main thing, sustainable energy, in that sustainable energy is a type of energy that we can use again and again without running out and without harming the earth. For example, solar energy. So every day we are getting light and heat from sun. Using solar panels, we can convert sunlight into electricity. In that, there is no harm for the environment. Like that, we have wind energy. Another example is wind energy. Wind turbines generate power without emissions. Means this one is also not harm to climate. Now now my main topic is I done my PhD in climate change only. So climate change. Climate change is the long-term average of the weather patterns in a specific region. So once if we want to talk about climate change, definitely that the climate is affected with certain issues like global warming, acid rains, and greenhouse gases, etc. So, first, I want to go for global warming. Global warming refers to an average increase in the Earth's temperature. A warmer Earth may lead to changes in rainfall patterns, a rise in sea level, and a wide range of impacts on plants, wildlife, and humans. The main cause of global warming is human activities. Human activities means, I want to say one thing. How we can say human activities means we are doing so many activities like burning of fossil fuel for for energy purpose only we are doing, and we are doing deforestation. That deforestation is for either agriculture purpose or urban development purpose also we are doing deforestation. And one more thing is agricultural practice. Agricultural practices means here agriculture practices, best example I can say that Delhi, there we are doing burn after crop. Once crop is that yes that rice crop is over, they are burning. For that reason only Delhi is facing problem. Now, coming into effects of global warming, environmental changes can lead to appearance of new diseases, old diseases in new places. Diseases carried by insects means yes, most of the in rainy season we are getting malaria, dengue, flu, all these. Now coming into causes of climate change. So, causes of climate change means there first we need to tell about greenhouse effect. The earth naturally traps heat using gases like carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and water vapor. Human activities intensify this effect, leads to global warming. So, now coming into greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases prevent some heat from escaping the atmosphere, allow incoming radiations to pass through the Earth's atmosphere. Now, causes of climate change. Yes, this one is very, very important. Major cause is from humans only. Major human causes. Very first one, burning fossil fuels. Their coal, oil, and gas related gas release carbon dioxide. So all these coal, oil, and gas we are energy purpose only we are doing burning. We are burning all these for energy purpose, and even for industries also, even for transportation purpose also we are burning fossil fuels. There we are in that case it releases carbon dioxide. Now second one, major human cause, deforestation. Reduce the earth's ability to absorb carbon dioxide. To absorb carbon dioxide means here we are deforestation means for once again the same thing. For the urbanization or agriculture purpose only we are doing deforestation. And industrial activities, factories emit greenhouse gases and pollutants. For agriculture purpose, here we are doing rice cultivation. In that rice cultivation, there we are using fertilizers. That fertilizers releases nitrous oxide. Once again, it is very harmful to the climate. Now, coming into urbanization, increased vehicles, construction purpose, and waste generation. For that purpose also, we are, yes, this one is also causes of climate change. Now coming into evidence of climate change. Yes, temperature rise. The Earth's average surface temperature has increased by about 1 degree, 1.1. Some people are saying 1 degree since the late 19th century. Why this temperature is rising? Melting ice, that too in Himalayas, and rising sea levels also due to melting ice and thermal expansion of oceans. Extreme weather events, more frequent floods, cyclones, and heat waves. Changing rainfall patterns is some regions face droughts and other heavy rainfall. In after that I will explain that Sikkim 2023 case study. Yes, now coming into rise in the temperature globally. Once if you see that picture, in 2009 it is only 1 degree Fahrenheit only, whereas this one in the figure it is showing 2016, but it is the figure for 2020. The earth is getting warmer. The average temperature has risen about 1 degree Fahrenheit in the last century, and the rate at which the temperature is rising is accelerating. From 18th century to 2020, temperature risen about 1 degree Fahrenheit means that is the temperature is gradually increasing, and after 10 years it will be 1.5 degree Fahrenheit. Maybe it is 2030, and most of the scientists are saying that it may be increases to 2 degree Fahrenheit in 2100 year, means after 70 years. Now coming into impacts of climate change. Impacts of climate change: environmental impacts, melting glaciers, sea level rise, and biodiversity loss, forest fires, and yes, now only we discussed agricultural impacts. Crop yields decline due to irregular rainfall, drought, and soil degradation. Okay, for that we are getting crop diseases increases, food scarcity becomes a global concern. Now coming into impacts of climate change. Impacts of climate change, their heat stress. Rising temperature cause heat related illness and lung cancer also. And then spread of diseases. Warmer climates allow mosquitoes. So malaria, dengue, all these diseases we are getting. And then air quality issues. Yes, nowadays most of the children is having asthma problem because of that air quality issues. I can say once again, yes, the very best example for this is Delhi only. And their use they even that chief minister is also requesting to the citizens, please use public transport, like that. Now coming into economic impacts, infrastructure damage, and reduce productivity. So whenever reduce productivity means whenever we have extreme heat, yes, that time definitely human work capacity will very less. And then coming into yes, we need to spend more money for disaster recovery also. Now coming into social impacts. Social impacts, their climate refugees. People forced to migrate due to floods, desertification, or sea level rise. Now coming into, yes, yes, please watch this video. After that, we'll yes, we'll discuss.
Hey BTN, I'm Rami Morris on Kangaroo Island, just touching base on how we're going after the bushfires.
Hi BTN, my name's Rose Thompson and I'm here at my property.
When we checked in with Rose and Rami earlier this year, things looked very different.
This was my favourite tree to climb on, and as you can see the ground hasn't got much grass like on the hills and it's very just ashy.
Half of the island basically got burnt, most of the island has got burnt, and a lot of the west end got burnt.
They were amongst the thousands of Australians impacted by the Black Summer bushfires, which tore through 18.5 million hectares of land, destroying more than 3,000 homes and killing at least 34 people. Today, many Aussies are still dealing with the aftermath of the fires.
You know, they're sleeping on mattresses, on crates, on the dirt.
So this was our front door originally. Everything, it's just gone.
And while the fires have been overtaken in the news lately, they haven't been forgotten. In fact, right now there is a big national investigation going on called a Royal Commission. It's looking into how the fires started, their impact, and what could be done differently in the future.
As commissioners, we will listen and we will learn from you.
The Commissioner's been talking to bushfire survivors, emergency services, as well as fire and weather experts. One thing they're looking into is whether or not climate change played a role. Some people say as the planet warms, Australia is going to have to get used to more intense fires and learn to manage them better. There have also been suggestions that we could learn from the way Indigenous people managed fire before colonisation. When the Commission finishes, it will deliver a report to the government and recommend things that might be done better in the future. While it's going to be a long time before things are back to normal, there are some really hopeful signs around the country. On Kangaroo Island, where Raimi lives, the native bush is starting to grow back again.
We noticed that all the yakas responded really well to the fire. Most of them pushed out their flowers and they sprouted straight away.
And animals are starting to come back, including the endangered glossy black cockatoo, which some thought might go extinct after the fires. Rosa's home in Cobargo is also looking greener.
The forest has definitely recovered. It's looking a lot better than since just after the bushfire. It's got a lot more sprouts and stuff.
As the land and the people who call it home continue to heal, many are hoping we can learn from one of the biggest disasters the country has ever faced.
Yes. This one. Here I would like to give one case study which was happened in Australia in the year 2019 and 2020 regarding bushfires. Yes, based on that video only, yes. This disaster badly influenced the climate and human habitat. Over millions of hectares of forest land and human residents destroyed because of these bushfires. Nearly 34 people died in this bushfire disaster.
Hey BTN,
Now-
I'm Raimi Morris on Kangaroo Island, just touching base on how we're going.
Yes, now we have another video. This one is Europe global warming, that too in the year 2022. It was happened in Europe.
A fierce heat wave is gripping parts of Europe with temperatures reaching more than 40 degrees Celsius. This is Antibes in the south of France, where tourists are being warned to take special care in the extreme heat. In Greece, they've been dousing areas at risk of wildfires with temperatures expected to hit 45. And they'll do anything to keep cool in Turin in Italy, one of 10 major cities issued with red alert warnings for severe heat. And part of what is driving these extreme temperatures is, of course, global warming. Here's our climate editor, Justin Rolat.
Sightseeing was a dangerous business in Athens today. Tourists were given emergency water supplies to help cool down. A heat wave named after the three-headed dog that guards the gates of Hades in Greek mythology is driving temperatures across southern Europe to truly hellish levels. We'll deliver 30,000 bottles of water today, says the head of the Greek Red Cross.
It was suffocating.
Yeah.
I mean, we are from Washington, D.C., and we get a lot of heat there, but it's not like this.
The air temperature in Italy could even top the all-time 48.8 Celsius record next week. And this satellite map of Spain shows surface temperatures have reached 60 Celsius in places. And temperature records have also been smashed in parts of Canada, the US and China. At the same time, Antarctic sea ice is at the lowest extent ever recorded. And there have been terrible floods too. Just look at the mayhem caused by torrential rain in India. Last week was the hottest week ever recorded. Climate scientists say the heat and the rain is driven in part by global warming. This shows estimated average global temperatures over the last 800,000 years. Look how the world went in and out of ice ages. Now let's add in carbon dioxide levels and look how closely they track the temperature. And just look how carbon dioxide spikes here at the end of the graph. Now let's zoom in to the last 12,000 years. Look how the world gradually warms, then temperatures level out, becoming much more stable than during the Ice Age. Now we human beings, we've been around for about 300,000 years, but it's only in this period of warm and stable temperatures that we learned to grow crops and civilization developed. Now let's look at the last 2,000 years. Temperatures remain stable until just over there at the end of the graph. The steam engine was invented, the Industrial Revolution took off, man-made carbon dioxide emissions started to increase, and just look what happened to global temperatures.
We're moving the Earth into a new era where ecology, plants, animals, and ourselves just can't cope.
And be warned, it is going to get hotter. A weather pattern called El Nino is developing in the tropical Pacific. Scientists say it's likely to make next year even hotter than this one. Justin Rolat, BBC News.
Yes, one more last one, which is related to India. Yes, it is in the year 2023. Just watch this video.
On October 4th, 2023, a devastating glacial lake outburst struck North Sikkim, sending shockwaves across the northeastern state. The lake outburst occurred in Lonak Lake in North Sikkim, resulting in a sudden and alarming rise in the water level of the Tista River. At least 30 people have been reported missing in flash floods and 6 bridges have been washed away between Chumthang and Rangpo. This has severed crucial transportation links. What is surprising is that scientists and experts had warned about this tragedy as early as 2003, when a series of dams were proposed on the Tista River. The issue was raised again after the Joshimath tragedy in January 2023. Surrounded by potentially dangerous glacial lakes that can burst and cause floods anytime, Sikkim is a ticking time bomb. Glacial lakes are formed by melting glaciers and sudden discharge of large volumes of water, and debris from them is termed Glacial Lake Outburst Flood or GLOF. The inventory of glacial lakes in Sikkim Himalaya, prepared using temporal satellite data, shows the presence of 320 glacial lakes. The situation in Sikkim has escalated further with damage to the Chumthang Dam, causing a sudden overflow and a significant rise in water levels in the Tista River. Eyewitnesses have reported a heavy inflow of muddy water in water bodies throughout the Mangan district. In response to this critical situation, residents of Tista, Rangpo, Singtam and other adjoining areas have been urged to evacuate their homes and relocate to higher altitude regions for their safety. According to Gyatso Lepcha, an environmental activist in North Sikkim, both Sikkim and Joshimath are located in the eastern Himalayas and are facing the same challenges and predicaments. Apart from the dams, rampant road widening, smart city projects, and congested urban planning are putting more pressure on the ecology. It is leading us to nowhere but environmental disasters. According to satellite mapping studies, 21 glacial lakes in Sikkim, including Guru Dongmar Lake and Kanchung Lake, have the potential to cause dangerous outburst floods in the regions. Glaciers in the Himalayan region are considered as the freshwater tower of South and East Asia and are strongly affected by the ongoing climate change. However, glacier retreat and mass loss have resulted in a rapid increase of unstable glacial lakes. The impact of this glacial outburst in North Sikkim is a stark reminder of the vulnerability of the region to natural disasters, underlining the need for efficient early warning systems.
Yes, this one is related, this case study is related to our India, that too in Sikkim. This was happened in 4th October 2023. That too, South Lonark glaciers in the North Sikkim has been melting rapidly because of rising temperatures. After heavy rainfall, the lake's natural dam collapsed. So in that, yes, this rapidly melting rapidly because of rising temperature. The time 90 people died, and scientists had already warned this lake was high risk. Now coming into assess the climate change. So scenario-driven approaches model future climate scenarios to predict impacts on ecosystems and economics. And risk management frameworks use formal methods to analyze uncertainty and plan adaptation strategies. And one more thing is climate risk assessment methodologies. So yes, I think most of the participants belongs to max community. So where we will use this mathematics in climate change. Coming in mathematics in climate change, mathematical foundation of climate models, partial differential equations. In atmospheric air circulation, their Lorentz equations, which are partial differential equations only, and Navier-Stokes equation. This Navier-Stokes equation describe air and water flow. And one more thing, already Ramanamurthy sir explained statistics and statistics that time. Yes, we have that Wibble distribution. I think most of the time in our classes we discussed binomial distribution, normal distribution, whereas Wibble distribution, this one is very this one is using in climate change models only. And one more thing is a time series analysis study. Yes, all these statistical and data analysis we are using to predict for prediction purpose only. And that too, very important thing is error propagation, how small data errors affect long-term forecast. One more thing, machine learning and predictive models, regression. Sorry.